Welcome to the show, Deeply Disgusted. We're here to discuss my favorite person in the world. He's a guy that's very special to me. You know, I like the way he wears his glasses. I like the way he keeps his hair cut, like that little mohawk thing. You know, the thing that the little teenagers are doing. Even though this guy's not a teenager, he's a grown ass man. But I like the way he wear his little beard, like like in the Gremlins. Remember in the Gremlins, the leader? Yeah, I like that. I like that. Oh yeah, he goes by Brandon Johnson. We're gonna just talk about him again. I'm gonna try to make it through this episode and try not to get too annoyed by the sound of his voice. It just drives me crazy. Sometimes I wish he was never born, but he was. So now we got to deal with him. So let's see what he's going to talk about. He signed another order. Something about he's going to stop the government who he worked for, who's the boss of him, and stop them from doing something. He's going to stop the government from doing certain things. I'm just so confused. I don't know who's in charge, the state or the federal government, but we'll see.
We are here today to talk about the events that have transpired over the past week. The past week revealed the true face of the administration's immigration enforcement in our city, and the entire world was able to witness that. On Tuesday, federal immigration agents raided an apartment building in the South Shore community in the middle of the night. This building was managed by a slumlord that people have all been clear about. The city actually sued the owner in February over 15 building code violations. The residents were dealing with deplorable conditions already, and this was before ICE trampled on them. But when they came in the middle of the night, they terrorized the families that were living there.
Sir, when the police or the government come for you, usually they come at night or early in the morning, sir. I don't think you're familiar with how law enforcement work. But we don't come like breakfast time, we don't come when you're eating your bagel. And we don't come when you're having lunch with your friends at Chipotle. We come when you least expect it, usually sleep in bed and you're probably whacking off somewhere. Whack, 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 whack. Next thing you know, you got police coming in. You're like, oh, hold up, I'm at the bus. That's how it works, Brandon Johnson. They usually come at night and they trample over you. They do it to us regular Americans too, you know that?
Were children who were without clothing. They were zip tied, taken outside at 3 o'clock in the morning. A senior resident, an American citizen with no warrants, was taken outside and handcuffed for 3 hours. Doors were blown off their hinges, walls were broken through. Immigration agents coming from Black Hawk helicopters to set up snipers on nearby buildings.
They are called ICE, sir. They move with military tactics. They're not like the regular law enforcement. So Black Hawk helicopters is definitely needed in the operation. Any operation to make sure no officer is hurt during the operation. So they're gonna make sure everybody's on it. As far as kids coming out at night, I mean, with no clothes, I mean, it is nighttime, sir. Yeah, I mean, they would sleep.
This is America. One resident described the situation plainly, and I quote, They had immigrants in one van and black people in another van. This raid wasn't about public safety. It was about and it's certainly not about immigration. This was about a show of authoritarianism.
Huh? Sir, if you didn't flood the city with migrants, the federal government will be minding their business. You made it a sanctuary city, and then when you came in office, you made it even a super sanctuary city. Like, they was flying in from everywhere, everybody getting food stamps.
A forceful display of tyranny. They sent a clear message to all Chicagoans. They said, "We do not respect your rights. We can do anything we want, and we will film it and put it on social media." The very next day, ICE agents chased people outside of a homeless shelter on the south side and then caused a car accident on the west side. Immigration agents put a young black man in a chokehold.
So are you saying that the ICE agents caused a car accident? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Brandon Johnson, huh?
Department of Homeland Security Border Patrol agents were near 39th and Kedzie when they were rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars. When agents got out, they say an armed U.S. citizen who sources say is a CCL holder tried to run them over, forcing the officers to fire. A DHS spokesperson claims the woman was already under CBP watch for allegedly doxing agents online. The violence and dehumanization of these men and women who are simply enforcing the law must stop, Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said.
Oh, but according to Brandon Johnson, the ICE agents was driving the cars and hitting everybody, huh? Yeah, they just happened to get out the house and went to work and put their uniform on, and they decided to let's run some people over. Let's run over some migrants today.
On the side of the street in East Garfield Park. Witnesses, one of which you will hear from this morning, bravely filmed the interaction, eventually leading to this person's release. On Friday, agents dispersed tear gas in the middle of a busy city street. Chicagoans were hit with chemical agents while walking their children home from school.
You notice he failed to mention that the woman had a gun. The woman had a gun. Yeah, she was a legal gun owner, but you go to a protest with ICE agents, with AK-47, you're at a protest and you're hostile. Remember what they say about being a gun owner. You can't be a gun owner and put yourself in hostile situations and then expect to use your gun and you expect to be in the right. You're at a protest that is very hostile. Why are you bringing your gun towards guys who have guns, who are the law, who's trying to calm things down? And if you're hostile with a gun, I would shoot you too.
A couple ran from tear gas with a 2-year-old child in their care. Agents went into the Humboldt Park Health Center and...
What are you doing with a 2-year-old at a protest? What are you doing with a 2-year-old at a protest? What is it like? Show your kid real life day? Like show your kid like how things could get real? Nah, keep your kid at home.
Detained a sitting elected official, Alder Jessie Fuentes of the 26th Ward, because she simply requested to see a warrant. On Saturday, they escalated even further by shooting a U.S. citizen. They claimed it was defensive fire. But frankly, we cannot trust anything that comes out of the administration. It was only a few short weeks ago that they claimed officers were severely injured in the killing of Mr. Villegas Gonzalez in Franklin Park. A Sun-Times investigation found that the agent said on a body camera footage that it was, in fact, nothing major. We have a rogue, reckless group of heavily armed mass individuals roaming throughout our city that are not accountable to the people of Chicago. They're
No, you are rogue. You are rogue. You're signing all these orders. You didn't sign not one order to keep strict laws, to make sure people do better in the community. You didn't sign not one order, but you're so gung-ho to sign an order to stop federal agents from doing their job and cleaning up your city, dummy. You didn't sign not one order to clean up your city, at least attempt to clean up the city. The trauma these people go through, the trauma people like me go through living in the hood, the trauma, the things that we see from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 20, it's trauma. Aren't you tired of the kids walking by the store and seeing a dead body? You're not tired of the kids waking up every night and there's gunshots and they can't even really study, like they lose hope. Like, how can you even study and concentrate and think about, a good, prosperous life when every 2 seconds you're hearing boom, 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 boom. And then you got the mayor saying, they're just kids. They just need therapy and they just need social services.
actions put all Chicagoans at risk. When protesters confronted federal immigration agents in Brighton Park on Saturday, they were met with pepper balls and more repression. CPD responded to attempt to de-escalate the situation, and ICE tear gassed our police officers.
No, you fool. You forgetting to mention that you made an order for police officers to not wear any mask. You made an order for the CPD not to wear any mask, you fool. Did you forget what you signed, you dummy? I can't stand you with them glasses on, you freaking nerd. You nerd. Nerds are supposed to be smart. Why are you? You're the dumbest nerd I ever met in my life.
Let me be clear. Tear gassing the women and men who serve as Chicago police.
Look a dude in the back with the dreads. Yeah, you already know he's from one of these nonprofits. Yeah, he's from one of these nonprofits that Trump cut. And he just want to fix the black boys in the hood, huh? That's what you want to do? You want to fix the black boys? We saw you at the club, at the lounge just the other day, getting your drink on, huh? You don't go any clubbing with the money?
Department officers. It's not how we make our city safer. I'm calling for a full investigation into this incident and into all of the brutality that we have seen over the past week. They are taking police resources that should be in our neighborhoods, serving Chicagoans and diverting them to deal with the chaos that they are causing. We need ICE out of our city so that we can continue to focus on the strategies that have been working to drive violent crime down.
Oh my Lord, what strategies is this? This is the Democratic playbook. They're gonna work on the crime, right? They're gonna say they're working on it. It's gonna be 10 years go by, another 10 years go. If there's nobody like Trump, it'll go by for a whole nother 100 years. And they will say, oh yeah, last year we was 300. This year we're 250. This year we're 240. This year we're 230. This year we're 200. Yes, we finally made it to 200. Then after year 15, they will say, yeah, we got the crime rate. It's been going down for the last few years. We're down to 180. 180 people. All those people have to die because of politics. Because of nonprofits want the crime to go on. Because without crime, without disparity, without people, living in these slums, and without choppers and guys riding around carjacking you, there's no need for nonprofits. There's no need for them. And that is the worry.
These actions tell us simple truth. If we allow this administration to take away due process for anyone, we will allow them to take away due process for everyone. They told us that this was about the worst of the worst. In reality, they are going after anyone who objects to families being ripped apart and community members being disappeared. ICE lies and people die. We cannot.
ICE lies and people dies. Brandon Johnson, what you think, you little baby? What you think, you little Dirk? You think you little Dirk, huh? Because you in Chicago. You trying to hit a freestyle with the speech? Who wrote that for you? Who wrote that for you? A 12-year-old? Huh? Huh, Mr. Gremlin? Huh? Who wrote that for you? I just got a headache.
Cannot allow this to continue. We must take action more drastic than what we have taken before, because what we are seeing is a more radical attempt to undermine our democracy. And today we are signing an executive order aimed at
Oh gosh, another one.
reining in this out of control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones.
Oh my gosh, these stupid names.
That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
They're clapping as if he said something so great. These Democrats, man, they're just looking for a leader. they just looking for the Jasmine Crockett's, the AOCs. They just looking anywhere for. They so desperate, man. They just. Who do we have that could just talk about Trump? Who's the best one that could compete with Trump with the jokes? Definitely not this guy, because he's definitely kind of corny.
Our school parking lots are not for ICE to load their weapons. They are for Chicagoans who drop their kids off to learn. Our libraries are not for ICE to prepare for a raid. They're for Chicagoans to read and relax. Our parks are not for ICE to set up checkpoints. They are for Chicagoans to play and enjoy.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Johnson. ICE is the federal government. I just want us to get this straight. If you tell them they cannot go on any private business, any parks, anything like that, and if they do, who's going to stop them? Regular police? Because you can't call anything higher to come lock them up, because they are the federal government, you fool.
Private establishments can partner with us to make it clear that private property is private property, and ICE cannot enter establishments without a valid warrant. Private entities may voluntarily choose to display signage to designate their property as part of a citywide network of community spaces that stand together in affirming the safety, dignity, and belonging of all of our residents. By extending this protection beyond city-owned land, the order builds a broad civic shield that limits the reach of harmful enforcement practices. It strengthens neighborhood solidarity, and it reaffirms Chicago's role as a welcoming city.
Well, if you would have sat and spoke to ICE at the beginning, you know, the leader, Tom Hogan, and they told you that they was coming, you didn't want to talk to them, Mayor. You didn't want to talk to them. They wanted you to lay out the rules that you want for your city. Like, okay, let's make agreement. Where do you want us to go? You did not do that. Tom Hawkins, he said it many times in the interview. He's willing to sit down with you so they can map out the proper way to go get these migrants out of here. And you said, no, I'm not sitting down with none of them. So it's your fault. It's your fault that they're all over the place using public property, because if you would have spoke to me, you would have said, okay, you know what? I'm not happy with y'all coming here, but I know that y'all the federal government and I pay taxes and I don't want y'all messing up my taxes. So this is the agreement. How about y'all stay away from the schools and y'all just try to stay away from like private businesses? ICE would then go, okay, no problem. But instead, you did not want to talk to the mayor, and now you have to sign all these stupid orders.
The fact is, we cannot allow them to rampage throughout our city with no checks or balances. Nobody is above the law. If we break the law, you should be held accountable. If Congress will not check this administration, then Chicago will.
I think I just been hit by the dummy bug.
I know there are many Chicagoans who are disturbed by the images and the videos that they are seeing on the news and social media. There are many who are scared and shocked by what they are seeing. The truth is that we are at a tipping point. This administration is trying to divide us and pit people, groups against one another. They want to divide and conquer. And as I said, in the South Shore, and this has been said very clearly, black people in one van and immigrants in another. In the face of this unprecedented
Everybody want to be a Martin Luther King. Everybody want to be a Martin Luther King. Everybody wants something to fight for when there's nothing really to fight for, Mayor. You brought illegal migrants into your city, which is a crime in U.S. territory. So they're trying to take out the migrants. Meanwhile, you're telling the public basically to do what you want to do to ICE. You're telling the public to do, so now you're causing riots and all type of mayhem, right? You caused this because you could have easily said, ladies and gentlemen, let ICE do their job, blah, 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 leave them alone, this and that. We'll handle it in Congress, we'll handle it with laws, we'll handle it. But instead, you're not doing that. So you're the one you're the leader of the city. You're the leader of the city. You don't know that you're the leader? Follow the leader? I mean, you're one of a hell of a bad leader, but you're still the leader.
threat, this moment calls for unity. Black, brown, white, Asian, young, old, north side, west side, south side, we must all pull aside our differences and defend one another.
Whoa, now you're talking about black, white, green, purple. Just last week you said, we have been held down for so long. Slavery's still here and the white people are after us, Chicagoans. Chicagoans, we must fight back against this slavery that is coming upon us. Now you're asking all the white people to fight with you. Okay. Okay, Brandon, I got you. You know what? I changed my mind about you, man. I think I'm going to get me a mohawk too, and I'm looking into getting some real thick glasses, you know? My left eye is a little off, you know? And contemplating a little Blanco on my beard, you know? Because I want to be not like you. Thank you for watching. I know it was hard, but we made it through. Like and subscribe. I'm about to go get some Tylenol. Every time I listen to Brandon, my head all of a sudden starts to hurt. Thank you. Thank you for watching.